believe so.
Welcome to the JG Sports Network podcast. Today we are joined by Montego Seeka. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. How's everybody doing?
Doing
Perfect.
pretty good.
Perfect.
How about you, man? How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Taking a little small day off. Gonna have a show tonight, so I'm just chilling.
There you go. That's a good night. Rest up for your big. So you have a big match coming up. You're facing the undefeated world heavyweight champion Gatekeeper. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am. Of course, other than that, I got other great big matchups coming up too. But yeah, that's the biggest matchups coming up so far.
I do have a question about that match. I seen in the last show that you and him stood toe to toe, and when he after he won the match against Logan Knight, you really it seemed like you had a lot to say. What would How do you feel about that upcoming match, and what can you expect from him?
Well, the thing is, I don't get everybody's afraid of him, but I'm one of those guys that I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of anybody. Like I'm from the streets. Simple as that.
All right. He's definitely confident. I can tell. He's
Kenny,
definitely confident about this match.
Kenny, Ren, do which one of y'all have a question next? I'll be right back.
Oh wait. Oh, there it is. My thing is acting up real quick. My bad.
I'll go ahead and ask the first question. What got you started in wrestling? What made you become a wrestler?
It's probably same as everybody else you asked. I've been watching it since I was a kid, since I was 3. First match I saw really was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3.
Wow.
That was a good match too. I seen highlights of it. Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think
That's
I don't think any of y'all was around at the time. So if y'all was
no,
cool. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. So
I mean, I'm only
no.
23. I've only watched
I'm
highlights of it. That was before I was even born. So
I'm only
understandable,
20.
understandable. I got you. I feel you. I feel you.
We're all of us here are young lads except for you, which you've seen the match. Which honestly, do you remember any details from the match, like how good it was?
From Hogan and Giant.
Yeah,
Really just a big one when he body slammed Andre the Giant. That was the biggest moment ever. That's
I would
by
definitely say
far the
so.
biggest moment. He was trying to do that for so long, and he finally did it, and the people went nuts.
I can honestly imagine it'll be for all the fans just to see that happen. Honestly.
Yes, sir.
So another question I'm gonna ask is, how long have you been doing pro wrestling for? Like, how many years has it been for you in your career?
Well, I've been wrestling for 17 years. As the name, if you see it, it says I'm the OG of Oklahoma for a reason.
Right?
you don't get that title for no reason, right?
No, you
Nah,
do
not at
not.
all.
Unless you've literally have been doing this for the longest time, which not many people say they can. Some people have been doing this for about 2 or 3 years. Some guys like yourself have been doing this for the business and for a very long time.
That's right. That's
So
true.
another question I want to ask is from. Do you remember your first ever title opportunity? Like whatever title you ever got a chance to face in?
Uh, well, guess I have to bring this bad boy out. I don't know if you knew, but I am currently holding the Empire Pro Wrestling
Oh,
Heavyweight Champion. I don't know
What?
if it, I don't know if anybody knows that as a promotion, Empire Pro Wrestling they run in Oklahoma City, and I'm
No, I
currently
do
their
not.
heavyweight champion right now.
congratulations.
That's
You
that's
deserve it.
awesome.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
That's definitely cool. I live in Connecticut. I'm far away from everybody here.
Oh wow.
I for me as the young kid watching wrestling, I've never been to a wrestling show ever. So in the promotion that you are currently the champion in, like what's the fan base like? Are they usually happy or are they like toxic sometimes with you?
Uh, most of them are happy. Some there's like one guy. He's very annoying. I'm not gonna throw his name under the bus, but He's very annoying, but he's a nice guy. I give him that. Most of them are happy.
Hmm.
So, uh, like I said, they run in Oklahoma City. That's other promotions in that area. It's not just them. It's Empire Pro Wrestling. That's currently where I wrestle at. I also wrestle for another organization. They are
Hmm.
also known as Unified Wrestling Oklahoma (UWO). They also from
Okay.
Oklahoma City.
So I got a question as well. Um, in regards of like your professional wrestling career, what are some of the most top priorities that you set yourself as goals when you enter or a match or where or when you prepare for a match?
Uh, Mentally, I'm focused. You gotta stay focused always. That's the top priority. You always have to stay focused. Make sure you're safe. That's another top priority. Always have fun. You gotta have fun. If not having fun doing wrestling, then why are you wrestling? Just point blank. Period.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A very good point about that. If you're not having fun wrestling, why are you doing it to begin with? Just to make money? Go get a day job.
And
So here's another
some people are in for the money too. I understand that.
true.
It's mostly for like if you're in a bigger company. I get that.
Like
But
WWE to be a prime example.
true. Yes.
Yeah. Another question to follow up would be, who were your inspirations to start your career in wrestling?
Man, I got like a lot of inspirations. Man, I have to start off one. Always, I gotta start off with Shawn Michaels is one. Always, I gotta start off with him.
Heartbreak
There's
Kid.
also Ric Flair. Um, I look up to guys like in the indie scene. I look at guys like up to AJ when he's in the indie scene. I was looking up to him because he was that guy. Also some other guys, man. Some people, I don't know if y'all are a fan of Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
Yeah,
Never
Eddie
heard of
Kingston.
Absolutely.
Eddie Kingston is one of
You
those
never heard
guys.
of Eddie Kingston?
Oh
No,
man,
never.
you never
My
heard of
man. Dude,
Man, you've been missing out.
Eddie Kingston is the new Ring of Honor World Champion
Okay,
And
okay.
I get
I will watch his
and New
highlights
Japan
after this.
Pro Wrestling Champion.
I will watch
He's
his
got
gotta
highlights
two
give him
after this.
props.
belts.
Okay. I'll
Watch
watch his highlights.
AEW.
Okay,
Go
fine.
watch the AEW match
All right.
with him and Claudio Castanovas. That match was fucking banging.
Okay. I,
Banging
Yeah,
match.
Eddie Kingston is that guy.
Absolutely.
He's
I
that
love
guy.
the dude.
He's that guy. Like there's
Hard
others
working
also.
man.
There's other guys also, but that's a long list. That's a very long list. I don't want to like hit y'all with all these names and stuff, but through this podcast, I will hit you with more.
All right.
Okay.
one thing I do have
So
a
Um,
question is did you what was your reaction to the passing of Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt as a professional wrestler, losing people that were big inspirations to
yeah.
everyone?
Both of those really hurt because Terry Funk, of course, he's a legend. He's a real big wrestling legend.
mhm.
Uh, I do have a favorite match for Terry Funk. It was ECW One Night Stand. It was Funk and Tommy Dreamer against
Oh, yeah.
Edge and who was it? Who was Edge's partner? Mick
Randy
Foley.
Orton, maybe?
No, I think it was Foley.
The
Was it Foley?
OGs of WWE.
Yeah, I think it was Foley. Yeah,
Could have been, probably.
yeah, it was Foley. It was the second One Night Stand actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Then if it was Mick Foley, then yeah.
yeah. Especially when Funk brought out the 2x4 that was on fire, wrapped in barbed wire.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, yes.
that people went eight. They went crazy for that. You know.
That was definitely one of my favorite matches to watch as well as like growing up as a kid.
Yeah. Like I said, same with Bray Wyatt. He's that guy that you know was always reinventing himself. Time in and time out.
Yeah.
Uh, I was watching him way before he was in NXT when he was just doing the Wyatt family little character. He was doing that, and eventually he was doing other things. And what got me was the Fiend. When he started doing the Fiend got me. It really got me. It was like my eyes was glued to the TV. I was just looking. I'm like, come on, bro.
He was my favorite
Like, there's
gimmick
no way.
too.
Not to mention that he won the Universal Championship as the Fiend,
Yeah,
which that
Twice.
is definitely like, and not to mention the belt they personally made with the Fiend's face on it. That's that stuff right there alone is definitely what I think defines Bray Wyatt as a person. But not to mention he was a family man too. He was such a loving father and a great person outside WWE.
he was. He was.
I
May he
mean,
rest in peace.
God rest their souls, Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt, man.
And of course, Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee.
Him too.
Absolutely. Family man, great guy, hard ass worker.
And most
Especially when he left WWE to go to AEW and bring this new persona called Mr. Brody Lee, the Exalted One for Dark Order. I think that's pretty cool. It shows him what he can do on the mic and like all that stuff. But
Yeah.
special.
what's some more?
Um,
I'll say
I
if you
got
have
one. Yeah. So another thing is, what was like your favorite match so far in your career so far? Like, what's the biggest match you've had yet?
The biggest match I ever had.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, my computer just went straight blackout. I don't know what happened. If y'all
That's
can still
okay.
hear me, it's cool. Is the camera still going?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not, but we can still hear you loud and
Okay.
clear.
All right. The biggest match was, I forgot the year, but the biggest match I ever had, I was tagging. Originally, I was supposed to tag with MVP
Ooh.
against DX,
Yeah, I can use
Sean
this one.
Waltman,
Just the cord mostly. Okay.
Sean Waltman, and Billy Gunn. MVP couldn't be there, so my tag team partner was Moose from Impact.
Oh, Moose.
Yes, and by far that was like the biggest match in my entire career.
Now, do
So
you
what company was that for? Were you wrestling
That
the
was that was for IWR,
Oh,
Imperial
okay.
Wrestling Revolution.
Oh, okay.
That was the company.
Okay.
do you still stay in contact with some of these wrestlers that you've tagged with in the past?
Like Moose or anything?
Oh no, no, not at all, not at all. Uh, real, real good guy. He's very tall. What was crazy in that match? Everybody, I think me and Shaw Walman was the same height, and the ref. Everybody else was, even Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash was in the corner with Waltman and Billy Gunn. Um, yeah, me and Waltman was the shortest guys in the match.
How,
Just say that.
how did it feel to be part of a match with former WWE superstars and legends like that? How did that feel personally as a wrestler, in your
It,
opinion?
it was nerve wracking. I'm like, we're just there, and I'm like, I'm sitting across the ring. I was like, okay, I got Moose right beside me, and I'm staring across the ring at two members of DX, and there's like Kevin Nash over there chilling in the corner. It's nerve wracking. It's so real, and then you had all these people, you know, watching, and people like, well, who is this guy? With these names, but they found
Yeah.
out who I was. At the end of the night. Of course, we didn't get the W, but
Mm.
it happens. Yeah,
It's gonna happen in wrestling. You'll win some, you'll lose some.
that's true.
But I got another question. What is the worst match you've had in your career so far? Like, who do you hate working with?
Oh man, I don't like throwing guys under the bus. I had a lot of worse matches I've been in, but it's because they was still new.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't say that it's not like the worst match, but I
Right.
just don't want to throw the guy under the bus. Simple as that. I don't want to be that person.
No, that's understandable, and that's fair enough.
Yeah, I sometimes I'm like I'm an asshole, but people I'm not going to be like a really big asshole. I'm like, hey, I don't. The worst match I had with this guy was so and so, and I don't do him like that, you know.
Right.
So basically, you're like, sometimes you'll get enemies and sometimes you'll get allies, but you just got to stick to yourself and be yourself, no matter the causes of anything. Basically,
And usually I do. I usually stick to myself at certain places, like NCWO. I'm basically stick to myself. Empire, I'm in a group at Empire.
Oh.
I work for another company, Texoma Pro Wrestling. I was actually there last night. I worked a six-way scramble for a new title. It was the
Oh.
Dynasty title, and it was a tribute to the Von Erichs. Von Erichs was there too. It was Marshall and Ross Von Erich, and they was in the
Oh,
building. Yes,
love those two guys. They're fucking fantastic.
I
yes, they
thought
are.
they
Tag
I
team
thought they
coach.
passed away a long time ago because they were my grandma before she passed away.
Oh
She was a
no,
big
no, no.
wrestling fan and
This
she
is
loved the Wonder.
yeah,
I
this
think it was
is
her dad.
Kevin. These are Kevin's sons. Kevin's the only one still alive. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
the Von Erichs were my grandma's favorite tag team. She used to watch wrestling before she stopped because because he retired and she never watched it again, but she loved them.
yeah,
And now, and
yeah.
now,
Kevin's the only one that's still alive today.
which is
His
two boys are now wrestling.
yeah, his two boys are now wrestling now. So
Which I believe they wrestle for MLW.
yes, they was at MLW. I forgot how long they were. I want to say two, maybe
They
3
won.
years.
I think they won the tag titles a couple times there. I know that for facts.
Yes, they want some tag gold there.
Yeah.
They definitely want some
Yeah.
tag gold there. Most definitely.
Yeah. One of them wrestles in barefoot, which I do know that for facts. I think it's
That's
the
Marshall.
tall one. That's what I
Marshall.
figured.
Yeah, that's Marshall.
Which I don't understand that. Why would you wrestle in barefoot? I feel like that would hurt more.
Nah, it's always like that. It's just uh Ross doesn't do it, but I know Marshall, he's always been like that. He already wrestled bare feet every time.
Like
I,
Matt Riddle would.
Yeah.
I I do have a big question here, and this has been said by a lot of people around the wrestling community. But what are your thoughts on Logan Paul as a wrestler in WWE? Because I know there's a lot of people that have good opinions and
Yeah.
some bad. But what are your thoughts on it?
Uh I see no problem with it. You know, he's like better than 98, 99% of, most wrestlers today. I wouldn't say maybe WWE, hell, independence. People was like, well, dude is a boxer and he does YouTube and all that stuff, but dude's he's not bad as a wrestler. He's not.
No.
I know he had him and Ricochet is trying to do this crazy match he was trying to do. I forgot what pay per view was that, but
SummerSlam.
it was SummerSlam. Yes, it
Yeah.
was. They were trying to go all out and do all this insane stuff, but at the same time, if they cut out some of the stuff, it would have been a better match. That
Mm-hmm.
Royal Rumble spot they did, that was it.
Yeah,
That was the
that
biggest thing
one.
they done by far. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. I think it was like probably like the coolest thing I've ever seen Ricochet do in a wrestling match with Logan Paul. Pretty
When they
damn special,
connected,
to be
when they jumped
honest.
off the top rope, like the springboard into each other.
yeah, the
Like
double springboard.
clothesline each other, or like going off the top
No,
rope. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
You
the double
think the
but
way
the
springboard.
that they
thing,
you think the way that they connected it would hurt a lot worse, but I know they were being safe and they've done it for years. But the bumps have to get a lot worse as a wrestler, and you for one, you know what the bumps can do to somebody if you take it the wrong way. So I guess the
Hmm.
next question would be: have you ever been injured in your career, and if so, what was the worst injury you've ever had?
Thank God, I only been like injured twice. Let me knock on some wood here. I don't know if y'all can hear that right now, but I only been injured twice. One was a concussion
Oh,
by a
okay.
chair shot.
Oh, see, chair shots these days is like someone else will put their hands up just to protect them.
Yeah,
like some chair shots that you can take, they're easily able to like make sure that that guarantees it to make sure that you're safe, but some of them go way too hard, and then the next minute it'll mess you up regardless.
Like
Like,
you'll
dude,
probably like have like blood spill out of your head.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then the second injury was basically it was a wrist sprain. That's all it was. But that happened
Okay.
in training. That was it. It didn't happen in the
Mm.
match. But it was only in training. But you always want to be safe regardless.
Yeah.
And it don't matter if you're training or if you're in an actual match. You always want to be safe. You always want to be safe for your opponent.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
Kenny or Ren would ask this question, but do you game a lot? Like, do you play any of the WWE games back years ago, like back during the whole SmackDown Check Your Mouth era, or video games?
Yeah, I played all of those really. Really not a big fan of 2K, the 2K series. I know I keep hearing 2K, the 2K now is pretty good.
23. Yeah, the
23,
newest one
yeah.
out.
When it came to 2K23 and 2K22, it got better since 2K22 was broken. But I stick to like my games I love, which are back on the PlayStation 2. I played a game called SmackDown vs. Raw 2004, and then I stick to
Yeah.
2010 because those games had game modes and stuff that you don't see anymore, which made the gamers want to play, kept them coming back for more. 2K just don't
That's,
listen to the fan base.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Man, have y'all even played the Fight Forever game, AEW? Have y'all
Oh,
played
I
that?
haven't
No, not
watched that.
no, not yet.
Okay.
I actually have. I bought it for my girlfriend for our anniversary and for her birthday. It's different to say the least, but I'm not used to the controls, and the finisher and signatures are a little weird, but the match types are awesome, especially since you can do intergender matches, which me and my girlfriend's wanted to do for a long time. That might be the fun part of that game.
Oh, now that you makes me have a question. Have you ever had an intergender match before?
Yep.
No, haven't, and I will not do it.
Okay, so
I
thank
will,
God somebody's
yeah,
with me. Somebody's with me on this. Thank God.
All right.
yeah, I will
Because
not.
All right.
the reason why I say it is because I just feel like the guy will literally destroy the girl badly. There's been times where this has happened multiple times.
He watches too
Yeah,
many death matches for intergender matches. That's why.
yeah, I will not. I would not do an intergender match ever. So if anybody's you know, they ask and they're like, no, I would not ever do one. Not at all. Like I don't care if it's a name or not. I would not do one. So
Mhm.
sorry.
Okay,
I
so
don't
I have
I don't
another
blame you on that.
I have another question on this one. What are some moves in the ring that are a little bit tricky for you? Like, what are some moves that you're usually able to do, but you can't do as much anymore?
Damn, that's easy. I really don't high fly that much like I used to.
Mhm.
When I started wrestling, I used to like do moonsaults and 450s, do like a lot of stuff. But now, since I've been doing it for a long time, I just can't, do stuff like that anymore. I
Right.
could do a moonsault every now and then, like on the ground, like on the floor or in the ring.
Like a standing moonsault.
It's a standing moonsault. That's all I can really
Right.
do. I
Okay.
can't I can't do like, a 450 like I used to. I can't do that.
Right. Like a 450, a 630, a frog splash, all that stuff.
I could do a frog splash. Frog splashes I could do that all day. But
I think
Oh, okay.
I think I remember NCWO that last event. I forgot what it was called. I think it was forgot what the event was called. I know I have the logo on 2K23, but didn't you do a moonsault to your opponent? I forgot who it was. Wasn't it Luke Langley or Jace Osei?
no, I didn't do a moonsault. I did work Luke Langley. I forgot what show that was. But no,
I
I
have
did not do a moonsault at all.
I have the logo on 2K. So while y'all are asking questions, I will find it because I have it.
Um,
So,
I'll let you go
oh, you
first.
can go ahead. Go ahead.
So, what's your signature and finisher? Like, what are those that you do?
Uh Basically my signature, it's basically just a clothesline from hell. That's all it is.
Change
So
the
kind of like
JB.
JBL. Okay.
Yeah, but
Change
I
the
don't
JB.
call it that. I call it the shank. It's
Okay.
funny. Yeah.
I like it.
I call it the shank. It's basically to
Okay.
close off from hill.
The
Finisher.
shake.
Yeah. Finisher. I've been using the clout cutter, or people call it the RKO or Diamond Cutter,
Right.
all
So
that. But
okay. So like a standing cutter. Okay.
yes, off the second rope.
Gotcha.
So
I think you hit that in your match too. And I remember it being awesome. And I was cheering for it too. Like that match, 5 stars out of 5 stars.
I appreciate that, man.
Actually, it might be
I've
10
been uh,
stars.
I've been knowing Luke Langley for a long time, and we both been up and down the roads together. So to have that match with him, it was really so real because we've never been in a one-on-one match. We always been, tagging against each other, and I think one time we tagged together, you know, but we've
Mm.
never been in a one-on-one match. So
Until that
doing that,
one fateful day.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
I found the pay-per-view's name. It was NCWO Up in Glory to New Heights.
yeah, it was that one.
And we have 10 minutes
Mm.
left in this stream, so we still have time for a lot of questions left.
So I have a question. What are some of the biggest highlights of your career?
Oh, that's a good question.
Biggest highlights. I told you that one. I was in the ring with DX with Wallman and Billy Gunn. Also, I've been in the
Mhm.
ring with a lot of people. One of them was I've been in the ring with Chavo Guerrero Jr. I've been in the ring with John Morrison. I've been in the ring with Eli Drake, as y'all guys know, is LA Knight.
LA Knight.
I've been in the ring with him.
Yeah.
Uh, I worked Impact twice for a. It was a special. It was one of those one night only specials. So
Oh, like open fight night or something like that, or,
I forgot
or
what
like
it
a.
was. They call it Collision in Oklahoma. I think it was like one night only Collision in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
There is a if you had I don't know if they still have that Impact Plus or whatever they called it.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I
do.
think so.
I still have that. It's on there. Also, I did another one for them, and it was Operation Override.
Oh, I remember
Mm,
that pay per view.
Yeah, I
yeah.
worked that one too. It was in Lawton, Oklahoma. It was me and my tag partner that was Jermaine Johnson. God bless his soul. He passed away. We worked the North. We wrestled the North for the tag team titles.
Mhm.
Mm.
Uh, when I worked LA Knight, it was for back then. I don't think it was Impact. I think it was still GFW at the time. But I think they transitioned to Impact. So it was
I know
still
it's
GF.
called TNA.
Yeah, but when Jared took it over, when Jared came
It
Oh,
was
over,
yeah.
it
Global Force Wrestling.
yeah, it was Global Force Wrestling, and then they had the global. He had the Global Force Wrestling title, even though it was they put a Impact logo on it, and it was an Impact,
Yeah.
Impact World title. So yeah, I worked for two of the main belts.
So I've actually just looked up something and I found some of your old matches, which is crazy enough.
Yeah, I got a lot of old
So
matches on there, man.
so you did a crazy thing, a blindfold match against Jermaine Johnson
Yeah,
in Impact Zone Wrestling. Is that correct?
yeah, I worked in Impact Zone Wrestling. That was I forgot what year
For a
that
world
was.
championship.
Yeah,
And also for Kenny to bring that up, that was another question I was gonna ask. Have you ever had like a match that was like a little bit either strange or weird?
no, not really. I didn't have any strange or weird matches. It was just the blindfold match. It was funny, but at the same time, it wasn't because we was really blindfolded. We couldn't really see it at all.
Hmm.
So we just if you just watch the match how it goes, that's how it played. How it played out in that match.
Which I
Uh,
definitely will.
I will say this: when it came to your attire, coming up with your attire, who is your inspirations for your attire, and have you always wore the bandana when you wrestle? Is that part of your character?
Yes. My character like transitioned like so much throughout the years. Till now. The character that I'm doing now is the the top character, like the most over character I have done so far. I unfortunately I haven't done that in NCWO, but you never know, that might change. So hopefully Gatekeeper's ready for
Now, if
that.
in any words, if you could cut a promo right now, if the gatekeeper's watching, is there anything you'd like to say to the gatekeeper coming up to y'all's upcoming match?
Luckily the camera is not on right now, but I would say some stuff. All I gotta say is hopefully Gatekeeper is ready for October 21st. I already hold one heavyweight title already. Now I'm gonna come home with two heavyweight titles.
Does
So
it does it make you nervous at all knowing that he's undefeated, or does since he's undefeated ever since he grabbed the title, is there anything that worries you about facing him at all?
nah, I don't have nothing to lose. Yes, he's undefeated. Yes, he's the heavyweight champion, but I don't have nothing to lose at all. Nothing. Hey, that's it, man.
All right. I know we have 4 minutes left, so that means we all have time for one final question. Who would like to go first? All right.
I'm
Good.
So basically, what? And I don't know. Oh, but I want to ask this question by saying, how was it at first when you started your career before you even decided to make this like your actual career, like till now?
Well, um, wrestling is something that I wanted to do for so long, and yeah, I didn't make it. It's not I didn't make it to the top, because that's where
Hmm.
everybody wants to be at. Everybody wants to be in WWE, or somebody wants to be in TNA, Impact, or somebody wants to be uh, like AEW and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I just want to work all over the United States. Also, I want to transition to international. I want to go international one time. That's what I want to do before I'm actually like done with this. I want to travel more states. I want to be travel. I want to travel international, and then after that, I'll probably just be done. I will stick to being one third of the trainers. We do have a pro wrestling school in Ardmore. It's called Texoma Pro Academy. It's me, Joe Harold, and Fuego del Sol. I don't know if actually are you
I
familiar?
love Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, the
Yes,
Fuego del
yeah,
Sol.
we're all the trainers there, and that's in Ardmore, Oklahoma. So if
Really.
if somebody's looking for a wrestling school, Ardmore's the place.
Man, man, that's one place I would end up
You know
doing
what?
because
I,
I
I
love
got a
the
question. This is my final question.
Okay.
Mhm.
If you can give any young guys that want to start wrestling, what tips would you give them?
What tips I give a young guy that wants to wrestle?
Mhm.
Um,
I'm one of those guys.
my tips is stay in shape. Uh, look for a wonderful wrestling school with a wonderful coach that can show you the basics. Don't be like these other people and they want to think about their wrestling name or what kind of gear they need to get. And like, yeah, I want to work this company, this company, this company. Like, no, just uh, focus on looking for a school. Uh, if you got a full time job, if you can work around that, cool. If not, uh, try to work around that. Like I said, we do our school. We run it at least 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So, um, other tips: stay away from the drama. That's priority. You always want to stay away from wrestling drama. Period, because that's gonna
Mhm.
hurt you in the long run.
And I
That's
know
really all the tips I have.
I probably don't have enough time for my question, so I probably asked a lot of questions anyways. So We only have 59 seconds left in here, so I guess that's the end of this podcast. Thank you again for joining this podcast, Montego, and I hope that you'll be back. I hope you'll be more willing to come back again with us sometime. It was
Oh,
an honor.
anytime. Like, thanks for having me on here. It's been a while since I even done a podcast. I think this is the first podcast I've done in so long.
Oh
So
wow.
I appreciate you, y'all. Sorry, appreciate y'all having me on here.
Absolutely, man. It's definitely a privilege and a pleasure too.
Thank you
It's
so
Dude,
an
this
much.
actual honor. It's an
Sorry
actual
the
honor to have
camera
you.
it cut out. So